Kevin McCarthy recently gave Tucker Carlson unfettered access to over 40,000 hours of surveillance footage from January 6th. Let's be clear. This is an exchange between Tucker and McCarthy. Remember when Kevin McCarthy was trying to become speaker like 15 times? Tucker held the speakership hostage by publicly listing his demands, one of which being the January 6 tapes. And the tapes he showed last night reflected the false narrative he's been carefully creating.
The crowd was enormous. A small percentage of them were hooligans, but the overwhelming majority weren't. They were peaceful, they were orderly and meek.
Yep. Because there's not gruesome violence in every frame, January 6th was actually no big deal. It's like if I showed you a movie about a cute little beach town, but it's actually Jaws with all the shark scenes cut out. Tucker's telling his audience to not believe their own eyes. That, or he has the object permanence of an infant. Over the last 2 years, Tucker has also claimed that federal agents orchestrated the insurrection. He didn't confirm this theory last night, but he did say this.
We would love to know who these people were. And because we don't know, we're not going to put their faces on the screen and suggest they were federal agents. That would be irresponsible.
Yeah, that would be irresponsible, especially because you've been saying that for 2 years. He also kept mentioning that no one seemed to notice that the cops were overly friendly with the insurrectionists. I literally had to look up my old tweets because I thought I was losing my mind. Tucker Carlson is gaslighting his audience 2 years after the fact. And it wasn't just Tucker spouting this nonsense. Here's how guest Miranda Devine described the QAnon shaman last night.
He's obviously a performance artist.
And this morning, Devine published a piece talking about how footage shows that Brian Sicknick was actually uninjured during January 6th. I know babies that understand object permanence better than these people. Tucker also had on Charlie Hurt from the Washington Times, who claimed that none of the insurrectionists were armed.
So it's because people were walking around with American flags that made them armed insurrectionists.
I actually think it's because they were using the flagpoles as weapons. And it also wasn't just flagpoles.
Brass knuckles, tasers, body armor, gas masks, batons, blunt weapons.
Now, this was just day one of what is supposed to be a 2-day investigation of these tapes. I'll post an update tomorrow, but I know at least one thing. He's not going to tell the truth.